You waving?
One guy.
Is that a wave or you asking me a question? Okay, we're doing good. So how many now, Minnie?
95.
Wow, it was just 41. I'm so amazed because I thought I met the only person to watch Festool live this week. And that was, what was his? Oh, it was Ricardo from Brownsburg. He's watching, isn't he?
He is.
Hey, Ricardo, how are you? It was awesome meeting you today. Okay, everybody. Woo! It is 12 noon. It is Friday. Minnie, is it?
Festool.
What is the date, though?
Oh, February 3rd.
Okay, no. I thought about this morning. It's 2/3 of 2023.
Oh.
Okay, and we're here in Lebanon, Indiana, and it's Festool Live. And what's the episode, Chris?
Festool Tool Innovation.
Oh, that's the name of it. What episode number is it?
126, sorry.
Big D, over here. Let's kick the board out of the way. It's Big D. We have Chris, the unit Cybert, who is still engaged. Woo!
Right.
He's doing something right, man. And we have over here Minnie Gleb.
Hello.
She's looking awesome as ever. Down here on the ground, we have Mr. Excitement, Sparky. So, oh, he looked up. What's up? Ooh, big stretch, Sparky. Woo! All right, everybody. I get a couple announcements. Okay, don't forget you're watching on YouTube. Oh, you could be watching on Instagram, or you could be watching on Facebook. Man, we're getting all technical here, aren't we, man?
Yes, we are.
Woo! Someday, okay, so just so everybody knows, everybody reaches out all the time and says, you got to get Minnie a board where she could type in instead of writing them. Minnie, it's easier this way, right?
It is.
It's easier for Minnie this way. I just want to let you know, we looked into it, but she prefers to write it down. And I'm kind of impressed because she's got really good printing. Okay, next week, and please pay attention, all you Festool Live fans, we have one heck of a week. In fact, Wednesday night, way past my bedtime, we will be going live from here, but it will be through the course of the evening from 6 to 10. We are doing a live stream. It won't be a constant live stream, but we are going live. You're going to meet all kinds of people who have been invited to a special event here at Festool HQ. It's not open to the public. I wanted to make that announcement, but it's Wednesday the 8th. Okay, so that's not the only time we're doing Festool Live next week. Festool Live will be its regular Friday installment at 12 noon. But I don't want to announce what we're doing because it is a super duper event that we're having here, and it is going to be unbelievable. Next week, you make sure you put that notification bell on YouTube so you are live with us, because I'm really stoked. It's the first time we're doing something here of this nature, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, so let's get to it. A few episodes ago, I did a episode on innovation, but I did it on accessories, how we have gone through, many years of redoing some of our top accessories, and we're always innovating. And I had promised back then I would do one on the tools, and I'm going to do that now. As I was going through this and setting it up this week, I have way too much prepared, okay? Because it's amazing how much we've innovated some of our core tools over the years and continue to innovate. And I will allude to some of that later this morning or this afternoon. Each category I'm going to go through, and I'm just going to span the room. We're going to talk about dust extractors. And I have some oldies from home because I still have mine working. Over here, and I had to bring some of my old tools in because they still work fantastic. We're going to go through some Rotex, and then we're going to go through some track saws. Each one of these categories, I was telling the unit this morning, I could go for an hour on each one and talk about innovation. I'm not going to cover everything. There's too much. But what I want to do is break it down like this into two different perspectives. One from your standpoint, what you have seen us do over the years, but also from an employee standpoint, okay? And you'll understand as I go through this, because There's some, when I do a training, like with some of our sales managers before we do a Festool Live, I'm always hearing from certain people, it's about time we change that. Okay, so here we go. Hopefully you'll understand how we've innovated our system of tools over the years and will continue in the future. And the reason I want to make sure I say it the way I do is because it's not us. It's you who give us some of the best feedback on our tools. And we kind of scratch our heads and go, oh, that would be a great idea, or that is a great idea. When we have enough of those built up, then we'll innovate the tool, retool it, and go through it. So this year, as I go through this, I'm not going to tell you what or when, but we are constantly innovating our tools, and you will see some innovations coming out this year. Whether it's in a dust extraction or sanding or track saws, and you're gonna go, holy macanoli, okay? This year we are releasing so many daggone new tools. It is so wonderful. I've been waiting for this year. Next year is the same thing, the year after that. We got some wicked cool stuff coming your way. So let's go through dust extractors. Follow me over here. Hey, Sparky. Last time I was doing dust extractors, man, you were a little, whew, okay. Okay, so I brought this one in. This is one of my personal ones. This is, check it out, this is very old. And I checked the motor on it. Minnie, check it out. It says Festool, but it says Festool Tool Technique, but check this out. It's a CT11.
Holy smokes.
Okay, so when we look at, and you see the number 11 or 22 or 26 or 36, that is the liters of capacity. That's what the bag holds, okay? So, you guys want to see something cool in a CT11? Check it out. Nobody know. I always love this when people come to the house. There was a built-in handle to it. See that? It's like kind of like a little wheeler. It made it lifting it because I'll tell you what, this thing is heavy. And when I brought this up from the basement yesterday, I went, oh my God, this is even heavier than the CT36. So I just wanted to point that out. You would release it like that. It had a little handle on there. Isn't that kind of cool? Does that, hey, you know, besides you guys, Minnie, do you know what CT stands for?
Clean tech.
Wow, she's wicked smart. Clean tech. Okay, that's what CT stands for. Okay, so in the past, and I'll show you as I open this up, this is how you would open it up. You would have to take the cord off to lift it. Okay, but as you take it off, that's the bag, and I have a spare bag for the CT11. Okay, when I talk about innovation of the bags, it was a paper bag, and when the air started to flow in it, it would automatically open up, and it would stay in that form. Okay, so you've probably seen this, and I got one here. This is the CT26 bag. Okay, with a CT26 bag, and you'll see, because we call this out all the time, we call it a self-clean bag. It's made out of like a fleece material. Okay, so when the air goes into it with the debris, okay, what happens is it opens up. But then when you turn it on, it slowly crushes down. So we call it self-cleaning because in the paper bag, what would happen is you would get some very fine particulate going in, and it would cake the inside of the bag. So the release from the bag to the filtration system, okay, because this is a 5-micron filter, this is a 5-micron filter, the cake would prevent, or the glazing inside would prevent it from going back up and through the filter and your HEPA filters. Back then it was 2 HEPA filters. They look quite familiar because those are the same style and size that go in the CTC SIS. Okay, I wanted to point that out. So that was a huge innovation because we would get complaints that the bags were caking down the inside and the flow of the air wasn't enough. So that was a big jump in innovation on that. Okay, this is a CT 22. This is the one I have underneath my Capex at home. Still works great. I'll tell you one from a perspective now of a Festool employee. See this right here? This is the plug that it came with, okay, when it was wired up, right? We always had to have one of these in the in the scope of delivery. Everybody thought this was, and I used to hear so many different things. It is a, see how one is like this, one is like this, and this, it's a grounded plug. Everybody would say, oh, that's a 220 version, blah, blah, blah. No, it is a 20 amp circuit. And if you look, I don't know if you could see this over here. Oh, you know what, Chris, I'll just pull this down. Let me grab this, because I think these are 20 amp. I think I had them wired for 20 amp. If we look right here, see this works in a 20 amp outlet, okay? But not everybody had an outlet like that in their what? In their homes or when you're on the job site. So we would include this little pigtail like this. I'm going to tell you one thing that was unbelievable from a perspective from Festool. We used to stock so many of these because tradesmen would go like this, plug it in, and then this would be sticking in the wall. So we were really excited when we got the regular or the new plug that's a standard 15 amp here in the States. So I just wanted to point that out. I was like messing with this yesterday going, oh man, I'll talk about that because that was kind of fun. The other thing I wanted to point out is, you know what, there's still some CT22s out there, and a lot of people would have problem getting inside here. So one of the things I learned when I first came to Festool, of course your bag, I always have, this is at home, I have the long life bag because it's big chips with my Capex, okay? But a lot of people don't know this is also a wet vac. Same thing with your 26s and 36, they're all wet vacs, right? But to take the head off, you would just take it off like this, and that would slip right off. So if you have a CT22, or back then, CT22 and 33, that's how you used to remove the head, okay? Also, one of the innovations that sometimes it's the little things at Festool, but this is how you used to lock the casters. That would lock it, okay? And there it is rolling again. But we came out with the Mini and the Midi, the older ones. We had the kickstand, and that was such a big hit that as we innovated the rest of the dust extractors, made a little bit more capacity, added some great features on it, like the 26 and the 36. It now has the kickstand on there. It's a lot easier. You don't have to scrunch down, get on to lock the casters. Easy enough. Okay, and to put it back on, I'm going to put that back on because I'm going to be taking this home afterwards. You just kind of aim it in like this. Whoopsie. It goes underneath that plug. Whoopsie. Come on, locking casters. It's always like this on camera. I used to do this in class all the time, and I would never get it right. There it is. Come on, Brian. You can.
It's easy. That's what.
Why am I doing this? See? I'm so glad we have it set up like we do now. And there it is. How's that, Minnie?
Beautiful.
Woo!
Beautiful.
Finally!
Woohoo!
Okay, so we have it like that. Next, I wanted to talk about this. See, I could go on and on and on each one of these. Next, I wanted to talk about this because this was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we came out with this new hose. It's a lot more flexible. This is the hose that all our CTs came with. And from our perspective, as a Festool employee, we would always hear, it catches and it rubs. You guys were complaining about it. And we understood it because all of us here use the tools as well. The nice thing about this is how flexible it is. It's about the same weight, not much more. But there was something that I did when I first came here because I thought was wicked confusing. I did a quick video on how to connect hoses, the old style. You would take this end off, put another one of these ends to connect them, okay? And then I did a PDF on it, and then I shot another video. It was so confusing on how to connect hoses. So to connect hoses now, whether it's a 36 or a 27, this is how easy it is now. They just connect like that, or the 27 goes inside. So connecting hoses is so much easier. I'll never forget it when my buddy Salia said, how many years have we been selling the tool, the dust extractor? He goes, finally, we come out with the easy way to connect. So it's really neat that you guys give us great ideas, or we see sometimes what may be your pain points. And we're not gonna sit back and go, oh, so what? Just buy the tool. No, we listen to you and we're constantly upgrading our tools. So thank you so much for all the great ideas over the years. All right, here we go. This is my mini from home. Okay, no, my CT mini, not my mini here, but the CT mini. Okay, I don't want to say we upped the capacity much, but we really didn't. But what we did is, way back when, did we have Bluetooth? Absolutely not. And why Bluetooth? Well, I'll tell you what, Minnie called it out earlier. Were you using a mini?
Yeah.
Minnie was using a mini at the house, and she was telling me how she really loved Bluetooth. Well, what's nice is with the new the innovation or the upgrade on the mini, it's really easy. We're just going to turn it on. Okay, I've linked it with Bluetooth already, but with that hose, and that's what comes included with it. Guess what? You can be away cleaning like Minnie was using with her mini.
Yep.
And you can turn it on. It just makes it that much easier. So sometimes when people ask, why did you do that right from the beginning? The technology was not there. It's there now, so we figure ways out as this world changes to upgrade our tools. Okay, hey, not only technology, but boy, materials get better and better over the years. So we're always improving materials. Now this sometimes we get kind of shocked because something is, you guys send a picture of something and we're like, oh, I guess we upgraded. Okay, sometimes it's just such minor things. It isn't a price change or anything like that. We just go ahead and make sure it's upgraded automatically. Okay, we always will, because we always want to have the best tool on the market for you. That, by the way, that's not marketing. That's the truth. Okay, I can go on and on and on, but I think I covered some of the top innovations. There's so much more on there, but I think that's good to cover CTs. Let's go over here. Woo, to the Rotex. Now, what's funny is I got notes so I don't go overboard in each category. So this is the old Rotex, and I remember my first one I got, I think it was 2003? What's the date on this one, the manufacturing date? Let me see. Ooh, sometimes it's tough. Okay, this is an 04. This was born on June of 04. You guys all know that, right? And gals out there, you all know there's most of the time there's a date code on your tool. So you can always check to see the born on date. Maybe you guys have some. There's a lot of these out there working. I'm going to make sure I have my hook up. Oh, here's one for you. It's hardwired, right? This is what I call PPI. Pre-plug it. We didn't have plug it back then. Okay, but when we came out with plug it, when we innovated our tools, then we started to want to plug it. Like, I'm going to show you an ATF 65 over there. That was PPI. That was pre-plug it. That was one of my, that was my first track saw in 2003. Okay, so I'm going to plug it in. Okay, and guess what? This is a 2004. Guess what? It still works. Oh, and that still comes on too. Okay, so I'm going to step through this because it's kind of neat. You're going to notice the pad is held on with a 5mm hex. You always got a 5mm back here. That's where it's stored. I took it off yesterday and put it on my pouch. Okay. You're going to notice the dust extraction is a little bit different. This was the oval. I don't think we have any tools anymore with the oval because the OF 1010 changed last year. So to put it on, and by the way, that was the grounding point. You would put it on like this and squish it on. Okay, you got that, Chris? I'm gonna flip it over. Now, here was, that was the problem, was this was the switch between Rotex and random orbit. See, I've gone through this before with you all. You see this right here? See the fine dots right there? That means it's in random orbit. The big dots, it's in Rotex. So if we check this one out, okay, you always had to rotate this, and I always get confused. See how it's free spinning now? That was random orbit. So once again, that's random orbit, 6-inch pad. Okay. Very, very, very effective sander. Works great, great dust extraction. But to switch it to Rotex, you would take it like this, and sometimes it would get stuck, but then you would switch it back over, and now it was geared. Same thing, great dust extraction, and extremely powerful. But that was the Rotex sander, okay? The new one, oh boy, I'll never forget when this first came out, okay? You have the random orbit, and we didn't have to, employee's perspective. I was working part-time at Marine Industry, the tool and supply in Fort Lauderdale on the weekends. Sometimes this switch was real problematic. We were always describing it. When this one came out, it was really easy. Look, I got the, whoops, you know what really helps? Is if I have a plug-it cord. Hello! Hello! Oh my goodness. Hey, it would be really good if it was cordless. I haven't seen anything, but maybe that would be cool, huh? Okay, look. I have it on there. There's random orbit, right? Same great dust extraction. I don't, how do you say this? I don't know how the engineers did this, but the balance on this is so much better than this one. And then this, look how simple it is. Look, big dots. You hear the pin go in, and now it's Rotex. We just made it really simple to do. The other one, and I saw the prototype when I was out in Santa Barbara. David McGibbon showed me this, okay? Somebody sent in an idea, okay? And David sent it to Germany, and it became part of the new Rotex, was this piece right here. It was a flooring guy who sanded up against the wall, and when he was using the Rotex, he was always what? Nursing it, because he didn't want to damage the pad, damage the wall, okay, because that's what would happen. So he made this, and he designed it so you could push the sander right up against the wall like this, and it was a huge time saver. So we incorporated it on the new Rotex, and that I always call it new. It's still new to me. Boy, we haven't changed the design, I think, in 20 years. It's just, it's a standard in our eyes and around the world. So fantastic sander, works great. And the other thing too, and I think I mentioned this in the episode, the first episode of Innovation, is we try not to forget about you, the customer, when we design like the multi-Jetstream pad, and you'll see it right here. This was the original Jetstream. Okay. Oh, look. The dust went in there because I was using, look, this on it. Okay. No, where am I, Sedge? Okay, there we go. This is what the pad looked like. This was Jetstream, where you have the center hole, and that's where the air is being pulled from these two holes on the side. Okay, I'll go through it again, and you have these 8 outer holes, and this is the paper. Okay, those 8 outer holes and the one inner hole, guess what? They work on all the different pads still. You may have sapphire paper that you only use for special applications. You can use it on, this was Jetstream 2, and then we came out with multi-Jetstream, and guess what? Those 8 holes and center hole all still line up with the old paper. And like you saw earlier when I was sanding, I can still use multi-Jetstream paper on the old pads. So it's forward and backwards compatible, and that's a good thing. Our batteries, they remain the same. Platform, we haven't changed too much on that over the years. The 18 volt, and I think that's a perfect segue as we come into here, the track saws. Wow, boy, am I long-winded today, huh? So this is the one I truly was thinking of. I could talk forever on this, because yesterday I was stepping through my first track saw from Festool. I'm going to go back to 2003. Was the ATF 55. I've probably mentioned that in other Festool lives. Okay, and you'll see here, this is the AT It's the AT, but it's actually the ATF 65. Okay. Oh my God. Where do I start with this? Okay, look, really quick. PPI, pre-plug it. Okay, it was always, you had to go plug it in to get it to go. The plunge is a single pivot on it, just like this. This is your depth setting. It's quite similar, but now you can actually read it. It was embossed, right? But here is where, and I did a Festool Sedge on this yesterday on Instagram. Sometimes you have a tendency to forget how good you got it, okay? Because I remember my ATF 55. I had to change the blade to a ripping blade. I was ripping some really thick maple. And I had to get Mikey, my business partner, to help me. I truly thought it was a two-person blade change, and it really was, because you would have to plunge it down, okay, to get that there. Look, you'd have to hold it, and then, I'm not as coordinated as most, but the Aberlock was right here. You would press it. Now you had to go get the 5mm wrench, which stored right here on the unit, okay? Not that unit, but the unit, okay? And then you would remove the blade, and it was with the Aberlock, it was a pain, okay? It was a two-person. So you always have, when we came out with, here it is right here, the TS55 EQ, okay, this was personally my second saw, okay, was fast fix. 3 things happen. It makes it wicked easy. Look, it locks down, it locks the Aber shaft, okay, but also safety-wise, it takes a plug-it now, okay. I think this was a 2000 and, where's the number on this? Oh, wow. This was a 2009, okay? I guess, is this the one? Yeah, this is the one from the training center back then. Look, it locked out. If I didn't take off the cord, it would lock out the power. All about safety, right? So changing the blade was effortless. And while I have this, I want to call this out. I'll put it in Fast Fix again. A lot of people don't remember this, but this is a plunge cut saw. Check it out. See that? That's the riving knife. Okay? That has changed over the years, because on the AT or the ATFs, okay, let's see if I can get this, see how it's not locked down. That was not spring loaded. So if you had to plunge cut, you would remove it, you would put it down a little bit further, and you would take the 5mm hex and take the riving knife off to plunge cut. So that was a great idea, or a huge upgrade, where you never had to remove the riving knife. Okay, from the TS to the TS50, ATF, oh my God, here's the confusion. The ATF to the TS EQ. And then we went to the TS55 REQ. Look at all this. This has all happened in the last 20 years. And then we went to the newest one is the TS55 FEQ. Okay, at this moment. Okay, and then we went cordless, and in cordless we've had 2 upgrades. The first cordless, and the big upgrade over the last 4 years has been the blades. Okay, where this blade had always been 2.2 curve. The early ons were 2.4. When we came out with the TS55 REQ, all the blades became the same curve. We had some 2.2, 2.4 in the aluminum blades or whatever. Then we standardized all of them to the 2.2. And then last year, the year before, we came out with the 1.8s on the newest TSC 55 KEB. But last year, or the year before, this has changed. This is no longer the riving knife. This is revolutionary in track saw technology. This is the anti-kickback design. Okay, on the newest TS55 FEQ, our corded version, the riving knife is still a riving knife. It's a 1.8 millimeter. And if you don't think that is a humongous upgrade, it is. It's twice as fast. And and I'm gonna go back to an employee perspective on this. When I first saw this, I said, okay, oh no, it was the TSC KEB. And I went, another track saw, another cordless track saw? And they said it was anti-kickback. I said, okay, that's pretty cool. But then we went to the 1.8. And now that this cordless version and corded version with the 1.8 are my go-to saws at the moment, because it's twice as fast. I don't want to say it's replaced my 75. I still reach for my 75 for those thicker, demanding cuts because of the power, or if I'm 45ing, thicker pieces. But boy, this TSC KEB and the TS55F handle most of my ripping, even on thicker timbers up to 1 inch and 15/16. That is wonderful. It's the blade thickness that has made a huge difference, and it stays perfect in that curve. So I just wanted to point that out. Right when you think, hey, what can we do to improve a track saw? We're constantly doing it. We will constantly continue to upgrade our tools. Now, I want to make sure I have checked everything off my list. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Oh, the first thing on my list. You guys want to see a humongous upgrade? I mean, humongous. Okay, hey, Big D, can you get the camera right here? You got it? Okay, so the ATF, this was when I was like, okay, this is cool, because when I first got my AT, I was going, oh my God, there's slop there. So what do? We have to knock out the slop. I don't want to say it was easy, but it's what you had to do. In here are little slotted screws, and you have a little hole here, and you used to take the screwdriver to knock out the slop. And it was tight, and you would back it off and go like this. It was a steel plate. It wasn't magnesium aluminum. And it was okay, but it was kind of, you had to go find the right screwdriver. It was not problematic. It was just, but once you set it, it was okay. When we came out with the TS55 EQ, I went and got another track saw. And what was cool about it, it was this easy. It was this easy, is you just tighten up the cams and it knocks out the slop. You back it off if it's too tight. What a wonderful design. And I can tell you right now, that was probably one of you reaching out to HQ and saying, hey, you know, there's got to be a better way than a slotted screwdriver to knock out the lateral tolerance on the rail. And we developed the cam system, which is now used throughout all our track saws throughout the entire system, even on the newest ones. So we're always going to listen to you, and we're always going to innovate. We may not do it right away, because it may be a simple little thing that makes so much sense, but we have to get, I think it's up to like 7 to 10 different things to go through a whole retooling of the tool. So be patient with us. And I could go on and on and on, but I'm not gonna today. Hey, Minnie, you have a lot of names on there to call out, don't you?
I'm not done.
Holy macanoli. I'm gonna start calling names out.
300.
How many?
300.
We have 300 people watching? Holy moly!
Exactly. No, it's just like,
Hey, everybody, thank you. It's just so cool sometimes. It just keeps growing and growing, and it's because of you that I think spurs us all on in this room. I think I called him out. I'm not sure. Did I call out Brent earlier?
I don't know, but he's working.
Brent is online answering all your questions. He's part of our team. He does a fantastic job. And a big shout out and thank you to you, Brent. You're always there with us all the time online answering everybody's questions. So when I get to the end here, it makes my job a lot easier. So thank you. I owe you a beer. Okay, so I'm going to start calling everybody out. And let's see. Holy macanoli. Okay, we have Andrew from Toledo, Ohio. We have Sparky from Indiana. We have Joe from Waseca, Illinois. Andy G. from Enfield, Connecticut. Larry from Sun City West, Arizona. Michelle from Paris. Mark S. from Springfield Woodcraft. Ahmad and Yosef from Kuwait. How you guys doing? Mike M. from Austin, Texas. Mike, hopefully I get to see you in October again. Warren from Batavia, Ohio. Matthew from Cape Town, South Africa. Des, you're always there, from Harrogate, England. Michael from sunny Queen Creek, Arizona. Soren from Denmark. Woo! Monty from Canton, Connecticut. Ted from Oswego, Illinois. Alonzo from Mississauga, Ontario. Joshua from Sun City, Center, Florida. Hey, is that nudist colony down there? Sun City? I'm not sure. It probably is. If it is, I just read an article on it. Hey, Soren S. from Denmark. Pat from Hatch End, London, UK. Dreamworks Woodshop in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Willie, Spot, Trish, and Steve from Bermuda. Petri from Jolavi, Finland. Johnny from Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Brian St. John Moss, New Leaf Interiors from the Bahamas. Dirk, it is. It's him. It's Dirk from Dayton, baby. Hey, Dirk, we'll be talking to you, brother. Chris from Malta. John from Carmel, Indiana. I met John last week, I believe, at the woodworking shows. John, you're awesome. I'm coming by your shop soon. Hey, Johnny Ringo from Maine. Isn't Johnny Ringo from somewhere else? Oh, he's from Searsport, Maine today. Woo! The weather I heard up there is really balmy. Yizu from Paramaribo, Suriname. Julian from Lausanne, Switzerland. Martin from Switzerland. John from Driftwood, Texas. Rob from Minson, New Jersey. Anthony S. from Staten Island, New York. Brandon from Salt Lake City, Utah. Matt from Tinley Park, Illinois. Tom and Kelly from Eatonton, Georgia. Dan from Whitestone, New York. Rick from sunny Blackpool, England. We have, oh my goodness, we have Ricardo from Brownsburg. Jeff from Clarksburg, Maryland. Maddie from the UP of Michigan, that'd be the Upper Peninsula. Jason and Yana from Granite Falls, Washington. Cameron from Annapolis, Maryland. George from Naples, Florida. Ronnie Fulton. How are you, Ronnie? I'll see you next week, brother. Dale from Swadlincote, England. And Michael from Edmonton, Alberta. Jacob from Rhode Island. Johnny O from Atco, New Jersey. Paul from Ready, Berkshire, UK. Wow. David O from Israel. Tom from Patton, Pennsylvania. Norman from Los Angeles. Brad from LaGrange, Indiana. Juan from Deceptive Island, Antarctica. No way.
Isn't that like, I had to rewrite it so you knew it.
No way. That's the first one from Antarctica. Juan, how are you? I heard it's really balmy on Deceptive Island today in Antarctica. Michael from Puyallup, Washington. Peter Halley, how you doing, Peter? Mason Woodshop from London, Ohio. Bill from Sagamore Hills, Ohio. Joe from Akron, Ohio. How you doing, Joe? Hey, we love you, Joe, from the Festool Live team. Lincoln Woodworks from South Whitby, Indiana. John from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Saxonville Woodcraft from Framingham, Massachusetts. Craig and Tyler, how you guys doing? From Wirtz, Virginia. Mike from Partridge, Illinois. House of Martin Woodwork in Denmark. Wicked. Dan from Kingman, Arizona. How you doing, Dan? Brian from Maumee. Russ from Chichester. How you doing? Russ, baby. Yan from your cult. Dana from your cult, Washington. Stephen from Las Vegas. Sam from Kingston, New York. I keep thinking it's Sam Kinnison from New York. Gail from Eden, New York. Leo from Holland. Bo from Hoover Dam, Hoover, New York. Merlin from Walla Walla. Blake Weber from Novato, California. You're always there with us, Blake. Matt from Newark, Ohio. Oh my God, another board. Many of you are awesome. Martin from Newquay, Cornwall. Chris from Vergennes, Vermont. Jason from Puyallup. That's Dose from Puyallup. George of the Jungle from San Jose, California. Whoop, whoop. Warped Woodsman, Portland, Oregon. How you guys doing? Dave from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Jan from Estonia. Chris and Rick, The Rock, a.k.a. Newfoundland, Canada. Joe, how are you? From U.S. Tool and Fastener, Joe. Ron from Weatherford, Texas. Po from Finland. Carl from Brooklyn, New York. Tony from Noblesville, Indiana. Henrik and Zolo from Sweden. Dave from Ottawa. Johnny Rocket from Gates Creek, Oregon. Dave and Gwen. Dave, you're cool. Gwen, gotta lose the accent. She complains about my accent. How are you? Hey, good to see you guys. Dale from Hillsdale, Michigan. Mike from Texas. Adrian from County Cork Island. Robbie Juan Kenobi from Cornwall, Texas. Renee from Denmark. Eris from Dublin, Ireland. Woo! Got to get back to Dublin. Had a great year there last year. Kelly from Del Mar, California. Dale from Rolling Hills, Illinois. Rick from Tallahassee, Florida. Bob Beebe from Salt Lake City, Utah. Adam from Union, Maine. Mike Olivia, Tinsboro, Massachusetts. Arthur from Brandywine, Maryland. We have Thor from Thailand. We've had Thailand before, huh, man?
Yeah, but never Thor.
Hey, Thor, how are you? Okay, Chucker Wood, Bella Vista, Arkansas. Okay, that's not Arkansas. No, it's Arkansas. Dick from Katy, Texas. Kenneth from Oak Park, Illinois. Turn that board around, Minnie, and don't hurt Sparky. Hang on?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. We have Brian from East Petersburg, PA. We have the Maestro from Canada. We have Joe from Carlisle, Illinois. We have Gerballs from Delft, the Netherlands. Francis from Boucherford, Quebec. Bravi Kitchens from Alberta, Canada. That dude is an awesome cabinet maker. I met him when I was out there on the roadshow. Greg from Hollyport, UK. WJ from the Netherlands. Casey from Tampa, Florida. Matt from Franklin, Tennessee. We have Eric. We have Eric from Spenceley Design, Columbus, Ohio. Chris from South Kunkworks, North Carolina. Larry and Maggie, from Mount Doro, Florida. We have Brandon from Litchfield, Connecticut. Paul from Savannah, Georgia. Mike from Scotland. Jason from Fenton, Michigan. Jerry from Chicago. Jerry! I know Jerry. We have Floyd from Central Florida. We have Thomas from The Hague. That's in the Netherlands, Minnie.
Yes,
I've been to The Hague.
I ran out of
Okay. We have Geeve, Shaker Heights, Ohio. Oh, we have Jeeve. Is that how you say? Was that?
I'm not sure, but
It's Jeeve. It's Jeeve from Shaker Heights, Ohio. We have Kingshire from Kingshire, Sweden. We have Brian from Leesburg, Virginia. We have Ernesto from San Francisco, California. We have Doug from Zionsville. John from Houston, Texas. Brian Mueller from the Rogers family. We have John from Naperville. Hey, Roger!
Roger Mueller's son, Brian.
Hey, how are you? Too cool. We have John from Naperville, Illinois. We have James from Edinburgh, Scotland. I want to go there so bad. Carrie from Augusta, Georgia. Stefan from Serbia. Drew from San Antonio. Hey, Drew, how are you? We have Ken from Virginia. We have Gruff Yard Inn. What the heck is that? Gruff Yard Inn. We have.
But this is where he's from.
Oh, come on. La Fenenhangen Ying Windfa. That's a first.
It is
about
truly.
right.
I'm gonna have to look that one up. That is so cool. We have Maribostock Leicester. We have Toby from Denmark. We have Derek from Las Vegas. We have Randy from somewhere.
Georgia.
From Georgia. Everybody is chiming in today. I think we had 300 people on the line today. Over 300 people on the line, as us old dudes say.
Aunt DeBasey from Montana.
Aunt DeBasey from Montana.
Yes.
Hey, is that the first time we've had somebody from Montana?
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. This is, and I'm not This blows me away. This is the first time we had somebody, Juan, thank you, from Deceptive Island, Antarctica. Wow. I think that was the last continent we had to hit. Woo, baby, because most people don't know Antarctica's a continent. Hey, so I just got to tell you, everybody, it's 12:45 here, Eastern Standard Time. It is the weekend for us. You have to tune in next Wednesday night, Eastern Standard Time, from 6 to 10. We'll all be there. We have super special stuff planned. But next Friday, set that notification bell because we're coming to you live from this room, but we're going to have a few other people in here with us. You might know a few of them. So, hey, have a great weekend. What do I always say? We mean it. We love you. This has been the best 126 episodes of Festool Live we've ever had. Every one of them we've enjoyed. It's the best hour all week here at Festool. Thank you from our hearts. Have a safe weekend. And that, I believe, Big D, has to be our wrap.